I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is recorded today. Also pay respects to the elders past and present, and extend that respect to any other Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who may be listening today. This is Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast designed to give an insightful look into the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. Welcome back, Melanation. I'm Ri'chard.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is Melanated in Melbourne.
Melanated in Melbourne.
Oh,
yay!
Beautiful, beautiful. Every single time, flawless. I have no notes. What do you want me to say?
Why, thank you.
Look at the material.
Yes. I started taking, I'm sorry, Julai is like... Julai's head is going back.
He's like, wait, is it my turn?
Like the Australian Open. Hold on, baby. I hope
like,
you...
What?
Well, we have a very special guest in the studio today.
Yes, we do. Go on and introduce yourself, boo.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julai, and I'm a queer.
Yay! They clapped on queer. I know that's right.
Yeah.
See, this is a very, very inclusive audience.
I love the sound effects. I was not expecting that. I love it. And I'm a queer Pasifika artist from the southeastern suburbs of Naarm. And I make music for the girls, gays, and them days. And I'm also the father of House of Diesel.
Yes!
Yeah, absolutely.
Know that.
So excited to have you. Whenever we have our guests, we do an origin story, get your background and that kind of thing. But I have a question for the table. Are you familiar with Blackpink?
Blackpink,
Yes,
the K-pop group.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I was listening to Jenny's full album on the way here, and I was like, oh, okay. And like it was hot, obviously, with Doechie's features, like flawless, and I saw she with Childish Gambino and a bunch of incredible artists. But I was wondering, do we feel that K-pop is appreciating Black culture or appropriating Black culture?
Oh, you really throwing us into the shark. Okay,
And
first
again,
off,
there's no-
K-popians, please.
There's no wrong answer. It's just a feeling. Because again, that music is fire.
Yeah, I mean, if the flavor is good, then the flavor is good. I'm not necessarily super versed in a lot of K-pop stuff. There was a Sour Candy song, I think, with Gaga.
Lady Gaga, yeah.
With Gaga.
Yeah, this is Gaga.
This is Gaga. So I was like, ooh, put a little bit of that on my plate. But it is incredible when you listen to the music or you look at the aesthetic, you're just like, this really looks like a lot of R&B groups from the early 2000s because we lived through that.
1,000%.
So
it feels familiar, but it's also like,
my whole thing is don't say anything crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't be disrespectful. So in my personal opinion, other people can have different ones. I believe it's in the appreciation realm. I'm also a fan of NSYNC.
Yeah.
So that to me, that was like a
I was
white...
gonna say, if anybody's
Listen.
appropriating, it's them. And
Well,
Little Ramen Head,
but okay.
I still bop around.
But I mean, like the same thing could be said about Ariana when she started off because she
Black
was
Rihanna,
like,
yes.
exactly,
Oh my God.
with her bronzer and her R&B. But again, she didn't say anything crazy. NSYNC was a white boy band that essentially parroted R&B music, and I ate it up. I ate it up, so I appreciated it. So it's a go for me. And if the kids out there like really love K-pop, then by all means,
Beautiful.
enjoy.
Yeah, I do think about it. I do think there is definitely a way to go about appreciating the genre and where it comes from. And I do think rap is becoming mainstream, like pop music now as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that's something to consider as well. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough
No,
one.
I get it.
I guess it's the way you go about it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, totally. Because it's funny how rap started off as almost like a protest kind of thing. And it was very, very niche. And to see it growing to the heights that it has. But British rappers make me laugh. Something about the British accent always cracks me up because I feel like I can't be intimidated. It's like, today I had some beans on toast, then I'm gonna have a roast. I don't know. It just doesn't sound...
No, because
It doesn't sound super like intimidating. I'm sorry to all the beans and toast people. Sorry to the people in Crumpet Land out there. I know I'm being offensive right now, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, go on.
No, I'm only starting to get into British rap, but I think it's because of China. But I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Yes. The girl with the titties on the bus.
Well, fuck you, man, in the back of the bus.
Yes. Okay, see, for me, I'm always gonna give an allowance to female rappers.
Yeah, to the
Yes.
girls.
Because the
For the
girls are
girls.
like out there like rapping so hard and as vulgar as they can be, and I'm living for all of it. So yes, I do remember her being on the top of the bus with a super small bikini top and being like, you know what? Go ahead.
No, she ate that.
That's why I pegged your man in the back of the bus.
Also, I heard she's lesbian, so the fact that she...
Ooh, okay.
Another one for the queers. Yes.
Oh,
Right
that
up the
is so
score.
That is so fast.
Yes. We support.
That was a nice frequency.
Yeah.
But no, the reason I asked that is because there's always internet discourse on it. Like me personally, I'm like, if this culture is spreading and everyone's enjoying and you're doing it in a proper way, I'm down for it. Like that album will be on repeat. Because I was listening on the tram over. I'm like, you know what? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
100%. Because
I
I
love
also,
that album.
yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a go just because like as soon as I saw Doechii with it, I was like,
Wait.
I might have to.
Yep.
I might have to partake.
We
But
love Doechii.
yeah,
We love Doechii.
But it's funny because you'll be accepted by the Black community, or Black people will dig your music, but as soon as you say something dumb, we got to pull the plug on your ass. Like I'll never forget John Mayer. I used to be such a John Mayer fan. Like he wasn't Black by any means. It was very much a sad white boy with a guitar writing love songs, which I ate up. And then he did that Playboy interview because remember he was like on the Chappelle Show.
Yep.
He was singing background vocals for John Legend.
He played guitar for Frank Ocean on Channel Orange.
Oh my God. He ended up having this interview where when he started talking, he didn't realize he was going to be on the record, not giving excuse to it, but then he just started saying crazy stuff. He was talking about how he doesn't even like how Black girls look. He said something about Kerry Washington, who was one of the biggest stars on Scandal at the time. And he was just like, I look at that Kerry Washington girl and my dick can't even get hard for her. Like, I love Black women, but my penis is David Duke, and David Duke was like a renowned white supremacist, like very, very racist person. And it's like, why
That's
you
disgusting.
Yeah, like why you need to be saying all that? I was like, well, I have to retire from the body is a wonderland.
Well, I was today years old when I heard that story. So now
You were?
Yeah, I was literally just bumping that earlier today. I'm like, damn, all right, daughters, let's get it. And
Yes!
I'm like, oh.
Yes.
Well, now-
Oh my gosh, I know, but it makes it too hard. Because once we find out how you really feel about us, it's really hard to fuck with you.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't say nothing crazy, y'all.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't really know him like that.
Yeah,
but
fair
after-
enough. Fair
like,
enough.
After hearing that, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I got my good spins out of it, and now I'm like, well, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So what's a popular song?
One of probably the most popular songs, "Body is a Wonderland,"
Daughters.
"Who Says,"
Yeah.
"Heartbreak
Stop.
Warfare,"
Yeah. Stop this train.
"Stop This Train."
Again, you okay?
know,
July's
like,
face.
grab-
is just
It's like,
I've
next
never
question.
heard. Never heard any
It's like-
things. These things.
yes.
But you
I
also.
heard his name.
Yeah, but I feel like you're also really young.
I do love my 90s R&B.
Yeah, that's okay, baby. Yeah.
But I don't know. Is he 90?
No, he's
Like early 2000s.
Yeah, maybe like 2010.
But now I'm afraid to ask, and I feel like I have to. How old are you, July?
I'm turning 27 this year.
Oh, little
Wait.
baby.
Why, how old are you?
Oh my God. Anywho, so
Nicole has never said her age on the
I
record.
will-
Lie to me.
I almost doxed myself because I was talking about high school, and I probably did with that John Mayer story. But
You
you know
did.
what? That's okay.
Just a
Keep
little
the
bit.
keep the mystery alive.
We'll edit it out. Don't worry
Yes,
about it. I got
exactly.
you, boo. It's like, I am redacted.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So again, so happy to have you on the show. The very first time I saw you, I'm not sure if you remember this very well. It was at Rainbow House, and you performed "Batty Bottoms."
Oh my
For
God.
the first time,
Ooh.
long hair with your backup dancers, and I'm like, absolutely obsessed. And I've been following your career ever since then. So it's been so great to see you grow and do more shows and just do all the things you're doing. So before we get into that, I would love for you to give the audience your origin story.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much. I actually remember that day like it was yesterday. Shout out to Asia Buffet. She put
Yes.
She put me on at the time.
Oh, love her.
Shout out to Asia.
So-
We're gonna have you on Asia.
Yes.
You don't know it yet, but
Please,
we're coming,
queen.
Mama.
Oh, she'll be a key. Like,
Yes.
so in high school, I was in choir, grew up in
Yes.
church, born and raised a Catholic, but I believe in the higher power now. I still have a relationship with God, which is really nice as well.
Awesome,
But
babe.
yeah, it started in choir and then had my dreams crushed a little bit.
Oh
I'm not
no.
gonna say by who because
Oh.
I love her now.
I'll call
her. And then it wasn't until lockdown. I come from a very musical family.
Oh, I love
and
that.
yeah, I come from a family of 6 kids.
Damn. Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say
I'm-
that.
I'm-
No, it's just like in today's day and age, sometimes you don't hear about a lot of people having
But
siblings.
it is.
Yeah.
It do be like that though.
Yeah.
But like it's giving big islander family, not enough rooms in the house, so we slept in the garage.
Yeah.
And it was lockdown, so you can imagine like there's nothing to do. And my brothers would always be rapping on the mic and sing as well. And then I thought maybe it would be a good way for me to bond with them. I'm already close with my siblings, but I was like, let me just jump on the mic and try rapping, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then I jumped on and I just kept trying it every single day because, you know, I have time to explore it now. And I was really sexy with it because, you know, I think as queer people, we kind of suppress the sexiness. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe
I feel like it's a guilt thing.
Yeah, it's a guilt thing. Like I feel
really,
like I don't talk to my brothers about sex or anything.
It's like the same way that hetero people talk like, oh, I just had sex with so and so, I've gone on these dates. Giving that part of yourself with someone else, they may react poorly to it. They may be like, I don't want to hear about that gay shit. Like it's a space you have to come into.
It sounds like a protection thing. Yeah, I get that.
It's scary. I think it's scary.
Fair enough.
Especially being in the suburbs. Anyways, I didn't put out music at the time, so I didn't really have to worry about it like that. But I would jump on the mic during lockdown, practice. And my brothers were very critical with my pen, and I was really grateful because it helped me. And then I dropped my first SoundCloud track on a type beat from YouTube called Coffee and Sex.
Oh!
Yeah. And I dropped it, and then a producer hit me up, sent me my first ever beat that I've ever rapped on. And then I dropped Batty Bottoms for the first time. Yeah. There's like a whole background story to that. But Batty Bottoms was my first ever track that I dropped. And I think it was like 3 years ago. I can't really remember what day, like what year I dropped it. But that was a milestone in my life that really changed everything for me.
That's so great. How do you feel about it now?
Honestly, like I just performed at Mardi Gras.
Hey, oh my gosh,
like 2 weeks ago.
So major. Yeah.
Like, and that's probably the biggest queer opportunity I've had here in Australia, and so far Australia.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I think whenever I get in my head and I doubt it, I just think that I started in a garage and now I'm on these stages, and that growth is reassurance for me.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I can't help but feel I'm meant to be doing this and meant in this position in life and doing this type of expression, and so I think that's how I've been taking it. Oh, yeah. I'm a very spiritual person.
Absolutely. This is the right place to be. This is the right place to be. Let it all out.
Absolutely. That's so amazing. And for our listeners overseas, Mardi Gras is a celebration that they do in Sydney. Mm-hmm. They do in Sydney each year. Is it Pride?
Yeah. That's Sydney's version of Pride.
Yeah. Sydney's version of Pride, because it's summertime over here at the beginning of the year, whereas it's June in New York because it's summer over there because the gays are allergic to the cold. Yeah. So
you can't be a hoochie in like minus 1 degree weather. I'm like, you know what? This hoe does get cold. I'm putting on my bird. Thank you. Goodbye.
This hoe gets cold too.
Shout out to Cardi B. I'm sure you're listening.
Oh god. But yeah, that was such a crazy experience for me. So yeah.
Oh, that's so great. I love an origin story, and I love how people end up finding their artistry as well, because I believe creativity is actually a really spiritual process.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, the higher power is the creator. So to do something creative is to have that like spirit with you and to express that out in the open. And I think it's so important.
And I actually look at creativity like that and ideas because I read The Creative Act book.
Oh, I haven't heard of this.
Book by, I think his name is Rick Rubin. And he talks about how these ideas are not ours. It's actually from spirit.
Yes.
And when you get that reoccurring dream or that thought that like, you want to do this, and you don't like...
you like deny yourself. Like, you're not a vessel. You like cut yourself off from it.
You don't be a vessel. You don't accept the gift and be a vessel for spirit to live through you and bring it into the real world. It will jump to someone else. And that's why whenever you see someone do that idea, you're like, wait, I had that idea. Why did I do it? So even if you do something like write it down in your notes or just put it down on paper, you've brought it into the world.
Yes.
And now you have to just execute it.
Absolutely. And honestly, if you have that kind of tingling, or like Julai is saying, you have these kind of ideas and you just haven't executed them yet because you're waiting for somebody to give you permission to be an artist. It's like Ratatouille. Anyone can cook. I think anyone can be an artist, and it doesn't have to be like stadium filling. It doesn't have to even be big. It can be small stuff, even just painting or drawing, or just like, now we have content creation and stuff where you can just like do something online,
so like
and
a 15-second video. It may be like short, but it can have that impact and just reaches much further than you expect.
Anything could be art.
Oh, sorry, darling.
Yeah, that's okay,
didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna say, I think I'm in a chapter of my life of just like fucking around and finding out.
Ooh, yeah,
you know
FAFO.
Because like I think I would
FAFO. We in the FAFO age. Fuck around and find out.
Honestly, though, it's been such a powerful way of living, especially as an artist. I think we should be audacious and like.
Come on, audacity.
The theme of this season, everyone's coming. Nobody's talking to each other, but this just keeps, everyone's feeling it because the fuckery is fucking, and you have to be audacious. You got to do it because
if you think about it, even you two, like this podcast, right? Like you have to be audacious and just believe that it will go somewhere, and just live in the present and think about the future, but don't rely on it. Like rely on what is here on the table. Like I just had a beat up mic with a sock on top of it and a laptop.
Come on, sock.
In a garage. And now I'm at Mardi Gras.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
you really just gotta, I really just had to like believe in myself.
Yeah, you already see it. You're already famous, and everyone else is just catching up to you. That's exactly how I feel. It's like, I know what we're doing. I know what it's going to be, but I'm going to keep going one day at a time until everyone catches up. And then however long that takes, I feel good about what I'm putting out, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
100%. Wait, can I ask a question?
Yes.
What are your star signs?
Oh my God.
I wanted to ask that in the beginning, but I was like, wait, I'll just wait for the podcast.
Listen, she is a Libra, October 20th. I always forget what my moon sign or my other signs are.
Your moon sign's a Virgo.
Thank you, Virgo, and then Leo rising.
Yep.
I believe.
Strong.
Yeah, very strong. Like trying to break my perfectionism, really trying to, because I feel like as an artist, I'm always constantly editing in my head, and then sometimes the editing or the perfectionism stops me from pursuing something.
That might be your Virgo.
Yeah, exactly. That's 100%.
It was like analytical.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then being like, oh, well, this thing is out of place, so I can't take this next step forward until this bit. And I know it's a voice that's trying to help, but I need to separate it from my initial creative process and make it for after.
You definitely give Leo rising.
Yeah.
I love.
Thank you. And Ri'chard?
So I actually have a confession to make. I'm going to come out of the closet.
Oh, God.
For 32 years of my life, I believed that I was a Pisces because my birthday is March 20th.
Because you are a
But I got my chart read, and I'm an Aries by an hour.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I will
so
slap
I'm
this
sorry to all my
microphone.
fans who were water sign gang. Because it is a cusp. So like my birthdays are an Aries, Pisces, depending on which calendar it is. But I got my charts read, and I'm an Aries by an hour.
What?
So Aries, Sun, Gemini, Moon, and Scorpio rising.
Wait, sorry. Can you say that?
Because that must be a joke, because you are a Pisces in my head. I'm so upset right now. I don't agree with this.
I would like everyone to take a moment. I need this moment in time to just be with my people and let them know that I am an Aries. I'm so sorry.
I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm going to try to open my mind to accept your new lifestyle, but I cannot promise anything. 'Cause in my head, you are a Pisces.
Did you resonate with being a Pisces?
I absolutely do. I resonate more with being a Pisces than being an Aries, but like because it's so close, like the overlapping space, I do feel a bit of both of them, but I resonate more with Pisces than Aries. But if you check CoStar, it also says I'm an Aries. Check all of the charts, because my birth time, location, et cetera, et cetera. I resonate more with Pisces, but there's definitely Aries
Traits.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Did you already say yours?
Oh,
Sorry.
no, I haven't. Wait, sorry, can you repeat?
So Aries Sun, Gemini Moon, Scorpio rising.
Oh,
Cool.
wow.
Cool.
Strong as well.
Yeah.
I'm a Leo Sun, Capricorn rising, Virgo moon.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, I really, really feel like them three, like my work ethic
Yes.
behind closed doors, they all play a part.
Yeah.
In it. And then my Cancer is in Venus, so I love really like
Yes.
my
Love.
eyes.
Yes. Yes.
My Venus is in Taurus, so I'm like, I need routines.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know your Venus?
No, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't know her.
We can thank our friend Adriano. The reason that I know my
Yes.
things is because he remembered my big three. I'm like, Adriano, what my big three again? He like tell me, I'm like, okay, thank you. Like I wouldn't remember for the longest time. I'm like, this is fun, but just in one ear out the other. Now I'm like, okay, now I remember.
Yeah, shout out to Adriano, because he's definitely always like, Nicole, what's your moon sign? And I'm like, I don't remember. So thank goodness for my astrological friends who remember that for
Who is
me.
a diehard 1000% of Pisces.
Oh my gosh,
He
Oh,
is.
he's a Pisces.
He is a Pisces, yeah.
That's why I can't. Okay. That's all right.
This wasn't scripted, but I'm glad you asked that, because at one point I was going to just come out on the podcast and just get Nicole's fresh reaction, and then this
You're
is
welcome.
golden.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Anger. It's anger. It's seething anger.
But also Aries and Libra work really well together, so that's probably why.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna try to accept it. I appreciate you having your new awakening, even though I have to figure out what to do with it now. Does that mean you're still a water sign? No.
No, Aries is fire.
Fire.
The
Hits
end
keep on
sign,
coming.
the end sign and the beginning sign. So contradictions back
But
and
I'm
forth.
air, and air makes fire.
Bigger.
Fi. I don't know.
Air makes fire bigger.
Because Aries are like known to be chaotic.
Okay. You know what? I don't feel like you're a chaotic person.
Mischievous.
Mischievous, yes, but I don't think
I think that's the
Air
overlap.
Gemini.
Yeah.
I love zodiac signs.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know what else is a lot of fun? The ballroom scene.
Not Krusty's giving us a segue.
All right, that was weird.
No.
That is a gorgeous segue.
Thank you.
Talk about. So obviously you gave us a bit about how you got into music, but how did you get into ballroom?
So Ballroom in Oceania, well, specifically so-called Australia, is still very new. I think it's about collectively 7 or 8 years old.
Okay.
But Naarm is, I believe, going on to their 6th year.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And we were the first house of Naarm, and that is House of Divine, founded by Mother Kiana Orichi.
Oh, yes.
007. Kiana 007
Yes,
Orichi.
0000. Yes, 0000.
But 00 is when you don't belong to a house, but you're still a part of the community.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. You kind of have to work towards being in a house, if that makes sense. So kind of like James Bond 00, you move on your own. That's what it gives.
Okay.
I'm learning so much.
I had so many questions. There'll be more questions, but carry on.
Yeah. But yes, I'm going to speak from my perspective of how I feel like it started. We came from the dance community, so majority of the first house members, the first generation of House of Divine, we danced together in a dance group called K-Star in the West Side. And then what had happened is Kiana had gone to Sydney where Ballroom was beginning.
Yep.
And she met Benji Ra, who's the overall mother of so-called Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was in a house called House of Slade. That's the first house. And we were actually put together and chosen as a little collective here in Naarm for Slay, House of Slay in Sydney. But because
oh my God,
we
my
had
brain heard slate. Like
sorry.
like granite? I was like, no, okay.
Sorry, House of Slay.
Okay.
House of Slay.
House of Slay.
Okay.
SLE. But we kind of had our own little thing happening in Naarm, and it kind of gave family. And so Benji turned around to Kiana and was like, why don't you start your own house? And then we started the ballroom scene here in Naarm as House of Divine.
Oh, that's so great.
And it was founding mother of House of Divine, Kiana, Angel,
Yep.
Furia,
Yes.
myself, Father Diesel, Mikey 007, Nicole 007, Jada 007. Oh, and Chanel 007. So those are 7 of us at
Oh,
first.
love that. Love sevens.
And then, yeah, that was the origins of how Ballroom came here to Naarm, and how it started in Sydney. But Ballroom overall in Oceania, it's been about maybe 10 or 12 years of ballroom history in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
that's kind of a rough start to ballroom here in
Incredible.
Oceania. But ballroom was actually built off the backs of Black and Latinx trans women in, I would say, earliest 1940s, but really 1960s in Harlem, New York.
Yes.
And that's exactly where it started. And it's made its own way around the world.
I have a question.
Yep.
Was it Crystal LaBeija?
Crystal LaBeija is a part of it, yeah.
Okay,
because
yes.
it actually was pageant culture before it was ballroom. And of course, there's the conflict of being POC in pageantry at that time. And so the POCs that were in pageants had left and created ball culture.
Correct. Because in the 1960s film, The Queen, was it The
Yes.
Queen? Yes. It was a documentary about this drag queen pageant that was taking place in New York. And you kind of got to see this peek into like gay culture, which I'm sure these people probably would have felt scared at this time, like having this identity confirmed on film. And then it was certainly not understood, but nevertheless they persisted and they got together to do this pageant. And then I cannot remember the name of the queen who won, but my girl Crystal LaBeija was having a fit. I remember watching that film and seeing that they were being really shady to the POC queens, because I remember when one of the girls was trying to give her name, but she wasn't paying attention, and they asked her name, and she was just like, oh, Alfonso. And so they kept calling her Miss Alfonso, and obviously you asked for their name, but that's not their stage name. So they were just being like really difficult in that regard. And then the girl that they had win was like pretty, but it wasn't extravagant because Crystal LaBeija looked incredible. Right. She had the hair. I smacked my microphone. The big hair.
She was fabulous.
The rhinestones, the big eyes. And I always say, if I had a time machine, I would go back in time because I would want to witness Crystal LaBeija's rant in real time, because she went out on that street and she let people have it, honey. She was just like, people told me not to come here, darling, and then they said, don't go, Crystal, darling, and I did because I tried to support, but you played in my faces. It was everything, and I was like, oh my God. And then I remember the people who ran the pageant got really upset with her. They're like, oh honey, you're behaving in a very bad color. She's like, don't shame me for my color, darling. I'm beautiful, and I know I'm beautiful. And it was, even now I'm getting chills thinking about it, because she was just like, this is bullshit. You guys brought us down here. You took our money. You played in our faces, and you didn't give us any honor when this should be a shared space, when it was obviously like they were just trying to highlight the white queen. So shout out to Crystal LaBeija.
Yeah, Crystal LaBeija. That moment, that video is everywhere. If you're in Ballroom or anything to do with drag, you know that video.
Yes.
That moment definitely plays a big part in Ballroom culture. And
Oh,
crazy.
It's such a moment. I can only imagine what they didn't include in the film. Like, release the cuts if somebody is still out there.
Release the untucked.
Yes, exactly. I need the untucked, because she was going off. She was going off. But you know what? Good on her for standing up for herself. And they tried to silence her again. And she's like, no, the pageant is done. You're going to hear my thoughts.
100%. And I think it sets the tone of how we navigate space now. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And understanding that this world isn't built for us, and so unfortunately we have to fight for our space and our voices, and
You got to disrupt a little bit,
disrupt the status quo, and that's exciting.
Absolutely.
I feel like I find it exciting in a way.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was scary. Growing up, it was scary.
Oh, it
Like
would
standing
be,
out. Like, why are you looking at me? Don't look like, oh, I'm making trouble. I was always worried about being in trouble. Like I was always that
God,
kid.
I
I'm
was
like, I
always
have to
in
be
trouble.
good. I don't want to get sent to the principal's office. I don't want to make waves. But now I'm like, no, you're gonna see me.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear me. And if I've got an opinion, if I think something fucked up, you're gonna hear about that too.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Because what they want is to make you smaller, to make you easy to step over. But if you're loud and refuse to get out of the way, it's a threat to them, because ultimately they need to thrive within mediocrity. So they want everything to be the same. But I think that for a long time, we waited our turn to be included. We were just like, well, if everything is fair and equal, like they say it is, like they say, not what it is, but like they say it is, then we should have part of this. But ultimately, it doesn't happen that way.
Waiting a long time.
Yeah, because how crazy is it that like, gay people who know what oppression is, they know what subjugation is, oppression and subjugation still exist within this space. You know?
And it's kind of crazy, because if you like really think about it, this was created in the 1940s specifically for trans women.
For trans women.
And Ballroom still exists now for trans women. We're still in a position of fight for safety for trans women. It's crazy that we have to do this. We need to be doing this. We need to be creating space and raising awareness and giving our sisters and our girls empowerment and liberation to live in their truth. And fight for freedom and space. And I think it's such a privilege that I get to be in the position of a community leader here in Naarm and take up space for the girls to feel beautiful and free
and be celebrated.
And strong and be celebrated and feel visible without fear of
Without fear.
judgment. And I don't know, from a trans perspective, I can only imagine what it is to walk in skin that maybe doesn't feel aligned with your soul. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like it's been such an honor and such a privilege, and I feel really blessed and grateful that I'm in a position to create space for my community, trans and queer, people of color. It's such a blessing, because sorry, I'm going to ramble a little bit.
Please do not apologize.
You were in the center because you were the star.
Absolutely. Please do not apologize. You're cooking.
Thank you, Boo. When I was in grade 6, someone asked me, what do you want to be when you're older? And I said, I don't know what I want to be, but I feel like I'm going to be something great. And I don't want to die knowing I haven't changed lives. And it's so crazy that the universe heard that and has built me up to be this person today who is creating impact both in music and in Ballroom. And as a person of color, specifically a Samoan, Pasifika, queer person, I was crying yesterday night actually, because I was just kind of reflecting and just, wow, this life is so crazy.
This life is crazy.
And it's not easy, but I feel so grateful and I feel well equipped, both principle, physically, my values, my support systems. I'm well equipped for the position that I'm in right now and the role that I play within the community. You know what I mean?
So beautiful.
It's really, I don't know, this year, time in my life is really crazy right now. Like, yeah.
In the middle, right? No?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, yeah, no, that's so.
No, that's beautiful. Like we don't shy away from any emotional topics in the show. Like we are allowed to feel. The human emotion has such a range that we talk about. Like I love that, and like, I can feel that as well because there's so many times when you think that you're going to be not insignificant, but you're like everyone around me is doing so many bigger things than you, and they're like these figures you can never catch up to. But when you realize you can just be yourself and just be that for someone else, so there's always someone who's looking at you. Like I want to do that one day, and you're not thinking about it when you're in your own head. But like if you do the best you can, just being that person to stand up and like I want to create a space for someone else. Like, growing up queer, especially in Texas, it never felt safe. But I grew up into the person that I would have felt safe with when I was younger. And anytime I think about that, I start crying. Like I was like, and it's like to hear that other people have that feeling, and that it just feels like we're in a good community. So everything happens for a reason. We end up meeting people we're supposed to at the right time, and I think it's beautiful. I'm glad that you found your purpose and you're leaning into it, and you're growing and you're flying.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it, and damn.
Yeah. Because this is the thing, and I'm gonna look into the camera when I say this. Gay people, trans people have always existed. All right. This is not something new. This is not a new phenomenon that some people like to infer. They're just like, oh, why is everybody this, and why is everybody gay now? Why is everybody trans now? Why is everybody this now? No, we're just living in a time where we can visibly see people express themselves, and they have every right to express themselves the way that they see fit. They have every right to live their truth, and that's why we're seeing more of it, and as we should, because people should be able to live in the skin that they feel most true in.
Yep.
Because ultimately back in the day, we hid. You hide. I think about this, not necessarily related, but you think about light-skinned black people passing, denying their blackness in order to pass as white so they can just have
an easier
existence, because ultimately being different, being black was the thing that would put you in the most danger. Hiding was what kept people safe. And there's still people that are hiding to this day, and you do what you have to do in order to protect your survival.
Absolutely.
I'm certainly not coming for you in any way, shape, or form, but there are people who are like, I can't hide any longer. Like, I can't. Like, you can't. Man, this gets me choked up because I just feel for these people. Why should they have to hide to make other people comfortable? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. They should be able to live their truth.
Absolutely. And it's so important, especially now, like the people who are comfortable doing so, to do so defiantly.
Yes.
Because I'm starting to date someone. I was holding his hand 2 times in the last 2 weeks. I've been yelled at on Lygon Street. Wow. Like homophobic shit. And I'm like, it's 2025, and you think Melbourne's so progressive and this, that, and the other. Like
that shit happens.
It happens.
I'm gonna carry around a hammer. I'm really tired of stupid people.
But now we're gonna start making out on the street. What do you want?
Yes.
Now what?
Do it. Show home. Okay.
Actually, and it did. You are right, because my partner, he's from the Carlton area.
Shout out to Logan. I love you. Logan and I work together in a cafe.
Love you, baby.
Love you. Okay.
And you are right. Cars stopped by. Like, we did a little couple activity, and we were just picking flowers and putting it in our paper cardboard vases. And people were calling out on the street, and I was gagged. I was surprised that in this area,
in this space, it feels like a queer open space. But again, bigots are everywhere, and not gonna stop me.
I mean, little did they know. Like, honestly, I would fight.
Oh,
like,
no,
I
I was talking to the guys while I'm like, I mean, they could get out of the car if they want to. They don't have a gun? Oh.
Yeah.
Like, this is not America. In America, I would think twice. But here, we can fight about it. I promise you. I'm either going to win or you're going to learn something today.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Honestly, like,
yeah, no, and that's fair, because you have every right to defend yourself for people being dumb. But that's why it kills me when people here in Australia, they're just like, oh, is it really that bad in the States? Is it really that hateful in the States? I'm like, baby, the hate is here too.
Yeah, hate is universal, unfortunately.
Yeah, the hate is here too. And if you deem yourself one of those good people, then you need to speak up and help defend.
Yeah, use your privileges.
Absolutely.
Use your privileges. Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, but Ballroom is so amazing. It's so beautiful that it's just this space where people can just come and express themselves freely and safely. And I wrote in my notes, because we ended up attending one of the balls.
Yeah, House of Furia.
Yeah.
Shout out Angel.
Yes, which was amazing. And I wrote in my notes that Ballroom is a protest, even though it's just expression and safety. But I could see it. I was like, wow.
It definitely is a form of protest.
Yes. Like, imagine just existing. That's why when people are like, oh, like, I don't want to get political. Some of us don't have that option.
Yeah.
Some of us, our very existence is deemed political, but when we're just actually being human.
Yeah.
Like, we're just actually alive and out here. But yeah, It's beautiful. And I had such a wonderful time that night.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I did too. I was on the judges panel.
We saw. We were taking notes and I'm like, I'm gonna get Julai on the show. I literally said out loud, I'm getting Julai on the show. I turned to him, I'm like, getting Julai on the show.
I mean, we have been like talking about this for a very long time. So I'm so happy that it's finally happening, and like it's all aligned.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, speaking about the ball itself, it was really a beautiful experience. Like, that was my first ball to have it in general.
Oh, crazy.
When I was growing up in America, I knew of the ballroom culture vaguely, but in the circles that I was running in, that was not something that anyone was ever going to. And for the longest time, I didn't feel like I was black enough or queer enough to be in those spaces without feeling like an imposter. And like, I know that was very much self-imposed. There was never anyone who was ever like, you don't belong here. But it was just like, it felt like I wasn't living in my own truth enough to be comfortable there. And it was just beautiful to be there and like feel good and see people I know just eating it all up and just feeling right. Younger me was just healed. Something about younger me was healed by being in that scene. Like, I plan to be at so many more going forward, but it was just a beautiful event, wonderfully curated. Everyone it was just warm. There was just like a warm energy in the space, and it was
pulsating.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. And then like, I always love all the categories in ballroom. Do you mind walking us through those?
Yes, of course. So there's many different categories. The category that I walked and started in is called OTA performance, and the dance style is Vogue Femme. We also have Sex Siren, which is giving back to the sex workers in our community.
Yes.
We have Face, which is like selling face.
Yes. Beauty. Yes. Period.
We have Body. So in Body, there's 3 different categories. I believe it's petite, luscious, and athletic body. We have Hand Performance, which is telling stories with your hands.
Yes.
We have Runway. Runway is cool as well.
Runway's very cool.
And then we have Virgin Performance, so you haven't walked ever in your life. And then we have Beginners, which is like 3 years in ballroom, but you haven't won a grand prize yet, because once you've won in those categories, you can move on to versus the big girls in OTA performance. So there's a whole process, there's a whole culture, there's rules on how you go about ballroom. But not only is it competitive, there's also a side of ballroom that is very much survival. And I think that is the most important part of ballroom, the survival side. But then the competitive side teaches us how to navigate ourselves outside in the real world, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, for example, you've seen my performances, yeah?
Yes.
People always ask me, how do you do that on stage? Like, how do you navigate the audience and the stage and the performance? And it's like, ballroom taught me that. Like being an MC, being on the at boards and navigating the space and the crowd, and also giving life to the person that's walking the category. I literally learned all of that through ballroom, and that's my survival training, and I take that and use it to survive in the real world.
Yes.
So that's how I perceive ballroom, and it's the same with my kids. Like, I have 9 kids. Shout out to my kids.
Yes. These are the only kids we allow on this. These are the only kids. Yeah.
So shout out to my kids, and honestly, we celebrate as a family, and that's the survival side, lifestyle side. And then I also mentor them not only in their ballroom but for example, sometimes it's hard for trans women to find jobs because of you know people.
Oppression.
I think the position that I'm in is I can teach them how to hold events, or we can teach them how to DJ, or like I could go to build a partnership up with a sexual health clinic, and a lot of the girls are sex workers. I can go to a sexual health clinic and just be like, hey, can we hold a workshop for sex workers, but can my daughters navigate it? Do you know what I mean? And again, and like sometimes it gets to the point where they invest funds into these panels or these spaces, and then I can pay the girls and they can use that to live. And it's just finding out ways to enhance their survival.
Absolutely.
It's a family taking care of each other.
In ways that the world isn't always taking from them, but more so like we're giving back to them. And again, using our privileges, because I am a gay man in the scene and I have much more privileges than a trans woman. So I need to ensure that I'm using my privileges to give back to the girls, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. It's so important, because people should be allowed to survive. You know what I mean? Like, isn't it right?
That shouldn't be a revolutionary thought. It shouldn't be a revolutionary concept, no.
Yet here we are. And that's why it's so amazing that you've taken it upon yourself to help those around you as well, which is a very, very beautiful thing, because each one teach one. And if you are in a place where you're good, then you need to help somebody else.
Absolutely.
You need to use your platform and
like
your
if you pulled up or been pulled up, so you need to reach the hand back down, because we do this together. We do this reach across, reach back down, because If people already established they were good, like they don't need that as extra system.
Yeah, especially since trans women, according to the history that I learned, were some of the first people out there protesting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They like
the stone babes.
Yes,
Yeah.
like exactly. For the first brick.
Yeah, I do think a lot of gay men in the scene need to give back to the trans women and also protect the trans women because no shade, the reason why you're living out there freely is because of trans girls.
Yes,
If you
exactly.
think about it. So it's like, come on, play your part in the community. But I do think like no shade, it is the white gay people, like no shade, like
You can be shady. Because when we say white people, it's not whiteness, it's white supremacy, but white gays,
White mindedness.
they still have that privilege. They don't realize like, oh, I'm gay. I'm like, that doesn't exclude you from.
Oppressing other people because they think they're like, well, I'm gay, so I know what that feels like. And it's just like, no, honey, you could very much be racist.
Yep.
And you could very much be transphobic. You're not excluded from that. And you can very much be a misogynist.
Yeah, I would say especially misogyny, yeah.
And yeah, Ballroom has been such a beautiful space for my POC queer experience because growing up, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel beautiful being queer in the white scene. They didn't really look at us and consider us like we're not the beauty standards. You know?
We're not. Yeah.
And so like I was like, damn, I actually don't fit in here. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like their music. Like it's kind of like, you know, I just I was like, damn, I just don't really fit in here. And then I feel like Ballroom found me.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, wow, what is this world? I found my people, and growing up, I never had any queer groups. Actually, my first queer group was a white queer group, and I'm grateful that I got to find people that understood me, but they didn't understand me fully, like culturally.
Yeah.
Finding Ballroom and finding people of different backgrounds and also the same backgrounds who understand my way of like
Where you
life.
don't have to explain.
Yeah, like
It's
you know,
understood and you
it's-
don't have to
1000%.
explain.
It's been so healing.
Yes.
And again, when it comes to impact, the fact that I grew up in the Southeast, Angel was the only queer person I knew.
Wow.
So the fact that we knew of each other and then we end up being in the same house and now we're housemates.
Yeah.
And like I have my own family, Angel has her own family, and now we're able to create more community in the suburbs.
Oh,
Where like
beautiful.
we were lacking that
Yeah.
growing up, you know?
You made the space that you needed growing up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like kind of beautiful. Like
Kind of, yeah. No, it's definitely, it
it
definitely
is beautiful. Stand in that. It is beautiful.
It
Yeah.
is
You're doing a
absolutely,
beautiful thing.
because when kids are outed, they get thrown out of the house. They haven't done anything wrong other than be true to themselves because they can't change it. These kids get thrown out onto the street, and houses and balls were places that people could go to find belonging, to find family, to create connection. So it's so inherent to survival because nobody can do it alone.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
No one can do it alone.
And I think belonging is such a big deal. Like belonging to something. and, like,
100%.
just being around people who understand that walk of life is just such a great feeling. Community is literally the key to
The
everything.
key,
Community is the
baby.
key.
that is something that we sing the praises
And
of
love.
quite a bit. And then I even remember at the ball that we went to, was it Akashi Silky?
Oh yeah,
Who, her
Akashi.
ponytail fell off,
Yeah.
and then everybody was like, "Yeah!" But then she brought the ponytail up and was like whipping it around and everything like that. We got our life.
Absolutely.
We got our life. I love it.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
keep it going, keep it moving.
you gotta go. And I think that people were being very kind on the judging panel as well because there are people who are walking for the first time. And I mean, I would have had a very tough time. I would have been like, everybody gets a 10. Like, everyone gets 10s. And I think it's really interesting that in some other ones, like probably in New York, they probably will critique and they probably will chop. But I feel that kind of honesty can exist in those spaces because I just believe
It's constructive rather than just detrimental.
I'm going to generalize. I just think gay people and trans people, I just think they're tougher because they've had to deal with more. So I think maybe the same thing kind of exists in the Black community as well. Like we're able to play the dozens with each other or give critiques because our existence, we encounter way harsher things. Again, sweeping generalization coming from me, but yeah.
I do think it's a bit hard to navigate sometimes because in the States, it's already solidified. Ballroom has already been solidified. So it's a lot tougher. Like if our girls are to walk there, you need to make sure you know your shit.
Yeah.
And you just need to be really fucking good because the standard is
the caliber is
like
up there.
much higher.
Yeah.
But here in Naarm and Oceania, I'm just gonna speak Naarm. There are two different scenes. So there's the Kiki scene and then there's the mainstream. And mainstream scene is much tougher than the Kiki scene. Kiki scene is about community building and the youth.
Okay.
So that's why I think we judge it a little bit less crazy.
Yeah.
But for
Harsh,
example,
yeah.
in the mainstream scene, the cash prize is much more
It's a lot
bigger
higher.
than
it's a
the Kiki
heftier.
scene. So if you have a cat that's giving away $1,500, you need to make sure you're giving a performance that's $1,500.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything is done differently.
I think that's fair. I get it. You guys are trying to instill community, love, and connection.
Yeah.
And I think that's great.
Honestly, all plays a part because you are right. It is much tougher in the States, but we have a lot of guidance from the girls from the States as well.
Really?
Now. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Really?
amazing.
That's beautiful.
Do you know Tajan? Like my daughter Tajan?
No.
My daughter Tajan, her mother is a legend in the States, and I feel like
wow.
it's so good having those connections sometimes because her name's Asia.
Asia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, you should check out her podcast as well. She does a podcast with 2 other femme queens.
Okay.
And it's called Crazy Sexy Cool.
Oh, cute. Oh, TLC.
That was the reference.
Yes,
it's just
yes,
doing.
yes, yes.
But sometimes it's a bit hard when we're a new scene and we don't have access all the time to the girls that have been doing it.
Yeah.
And my way of studying is by watching their podcasts, and I understand
I love
how they
that.
move. Sometimes I just say they're my mentors
Yeah.
spiritually.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No, I love that.
It's
But, like-
cultural anthropology. Yeah.
But my kids have done such a great job and they've connected to the girls that have been doing it for a long time and directly from the States. So having that access to them in regards to information or how to go about ballroom conflicts, because it does get catty sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely real. It's real.
Yeah.
It's so good to have access to the girls and figuring out how to navigate situations.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. It instills survival. I keep saying that over and over again, but it's the truth.
Absolutely love that. Well, I don't know if you have any more questions, but I have one last question. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I just remember that night being really magical and so much fun. It was great to see everybody come out and just be themselves, and the performances were amazing. Like, it was just incredible. And I just remember going and just being like, I can't wait to do this again.
Yep.
I can't wait. Because at first I was like, oh, I'm not really in the scene. I'm not really a part of the community, but I was happy to be there. So it was very
Spectators
lovely.
play a big part in
Yeah.
our community. So like, honestly,
Yes.
thank you for coming. I appreciate
Oh
it.
my gosh,
course.
of course. And then I'll never forget that one girl, did she shoot off a flare? No.
It was like
Confetti cannon.
Confetti gun, yeah.
Yes.
She was also in the first House of Divine.
Yes,
Jada.
yeah.
Jada
Jada, that's
007.
right.
That was so.
That was everything.
I
I think I
absolutely
have
love
that.
that.
I think I have that on my. I think I have that
Yeah.
video.
Well, that's actually part of my question. So, like, obviously you
Perfect.
said you were in House of Divine, but how do you break off and become, like, you're now House of Diesel? How does that split happen?
Not unleaded. Sorry.
Nicole, please stop.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
No, well, there is definitely a process. Like, we have a council. Everyone goes about it differently. But for me personally, the connection has to be deep. It can't
Okay.
be just, we want to be fab and we just want to start a house, because I think what the council looks for is longevity.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
fair,
Because-
fair.
And also, like,
Stability.
Who are you? There's statuses in ballroom, so there's like legend stars statements, and it is dependent on what you do in ballroom. Are you a trailblazer in your chosen category? What is your connection to community work? Everything
Yeah.
is considered, and like how I've been in Divine and as a 007, I've been able to navigate myself as a leader. And I went to the council. I said I want to start a house. They said you need to get their blessings, like the whole council.
yeah.
And they gave me their blessings, and then I had a little bit of a chat. And I think from what I like grasped, it is about longevity and what you can give back to the community and your family. And then they gave me the blessings, and then I started my house last year. I announced it in January, but we debuted it in February.
Beautiful.
So,
Wow.
yeah, I think there's a lot of thought like that goes behind it, and you got to understand the intention.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's got to be real
Yeah.
intentional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. Because obviously we went to a housewarming, so that was what thought that's going in my mind. Like, obviously Angel would have been a part of another house beforehand. And like, I've seen, like, with the resurgence of like Pose and Legendary and things like that, you get to see that on TV. But again, how much of that's TV or Americanized, and how much is it like, what do you do here? And that's why I was like, I want to ask that question.
Because I feel like maybe back in the day, that's how they did it. Like, you could just like pop up with a house.
Yeah.
But I think here, because we have to navigate like who is representing ballroom in general, or how are you you as a leader or a parent looking after your kids. And
that's what it is. It's family. It's not about you fulfilling this sense of power by being like, I'm like going to be ruling over these people. It's like, no, you're going to be starting a family, and that's something you need to take seriously.
I think it does happen. Like, I think sometimes these roles do give people power.
Yes.
Like, so you gotta
Some
understand.
people do it for vanity.
Yeah,
Of course.
So
Some people have kids for vanity because they just want to see what the kid's going to look like, or it makes them look like cooler, but it's just like you have to be thinking.
It's my perspective. It's such a big deal. You got to get the blessings from the council.
Yeah, because they got to see that you really want it for the right reasons before you start bringing other people into it, and then you just causing all this upheaval and foolishness.
Well, because not everybody is built to be a parent.
There it is.
There we go.
So it's we got to know that you're actually doing something for the community and for people. Thank you, council, for giving me my blessings.
Thank you. Shout out to the council.
Thank you.
I think the last thing I want to wrap up with is like, what would you like to manifest for yourself? Because we believe in manifestation on this podcast. What would you like to manifest for yourself, for your house, for your career, ambition, for your soul? What would you like to manifest in this moment?
I'm not gonna lie. I always think about this even now, but I want to manifest my mama house because once I can do that, I think I'll be very, very happy with everything. And I think the second part is like I just want a lot of peace, not just for me, but my family and friends, my partner, and just anyone that comes in contact with me and sticks around. I just want peace for all of us.
Yeah.
A lot of peace, whatever that may look like to everybody.
Yeah.
Love that.
How about you?
Ooh. Well, I think with this podcast, we started it as a means to chronicle our adventures here. And now that people are connecting to it, we're starting to see that there is going to be space. Like we're creating a space for other people who see us and want to be seen and want to feel connected to that energy. So I feel like it's probably something that we're already doing, but I kind of just want to see more of those physical spaces pop up and more of the shared community within events and just, creating connection because ultimately I think that's how we're going to get through these crazy, crazy times. So I'm just looking forward to seeing that grow.
Beautiful.
Yay.
I think mine is kind of similar. Like professionally, I've always done different jobs. Like the job I have now, I love it. I work in the queer community. Like I get to do things, helping other people put on events, organizations, things. But before that, I was never passionate about work. I was like, I don't care. I'm getting the job done. I've got bills to pay. Whatever I do in my social times, going to movies, hanging out, it just felt like I was just on a cycle. There was a loop. Everything was just cyclical. But when the show started and it started to get an impact and as people reached out, someone moved here from America after finding our podcast and people started to relate to these things and they started to come out to events and make other friends and knowing that what this could be. I just want to continue that. Like I want to build community. Like we're working right now to start a community organization where we can have people meeting up however often. Like let's hang out. Let's go to this movie. Let's create something. Let's have a poetry night and just creating that space. I want to build a table. I want to build a table and I'm not stopping until it's big enough to everyone has a seat at it.
Absolutely, because ultimately, if we're going to wait for people here to include us, we're going to be waiting until the end of time. So we might as well just create the space that we want to see. And then other people who resonate with that will come. And then they'll bring their friends who feel the same thing. And I can't wait to see. It's still just the beginning. Yeah.
I'm so excited. It's living in the present, knowing that this is the start of something incredible, just relishing the moment. It's like, looking around like,
look at us.
Look at this. You know it's coming as well. It's like you want to remember it. So whenever you're at that point, like, wow, we did all that. And being able to absorb everything and like you'll be able to look back and like, yes, like that was the moment where this shifted or where that grew or we just took off. Like it's great.
I think we got to let the universe surprise us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like live in the present, but let the universe take it and surprise us.
Yeah, because I feel like when we have these dreams in our heart, it's the universe saying, this is already yours. Mm-hmm. And then once we say it out loud, then that's the spark. Mm-hmm. And now it's gonna take off. It's already happening.
Yeah.
You speak as if it's already yours because it is.
I do want to say, like, sorry, I didn't get to say it in the beginning, but I just want to say thank you so much for having me on this podcast because I journaled about it actually, and I was like, I really do want to start doing more podcasts and speaking, and I mean stepping into the highest state of visibility, and I think this is a part of it.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you so much for having
my
me here.
gosh,
I feel very at home and with my people. Like, I feel
Yeah.
you know.
Good luck getting rid of us.
Yeah.
So thank you, and I wanna. Can I start a tradition?
Absolutely.
Yes.
The person that I nominate next, along the line for your podcast,
Yes.
is Tinkerbell Diesel.
Oh, Tinkerbell Diesel.
Okay.
TD. All right, I'm out.
I think you would love her, and she
Oh
does
my
amazing things. She's
gosh.
also in House of Diesel, but she's a model, and she's from Zimbabwe, but she's navigating herself here.
She sounds beautiful.
Trust me, you will love her.
Yeah.
She's a key. Like,
She sounds beautiful.
but yeah, I just want to start a tradition.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Taking notes. All right, Tinkerbell, coming for you as well.
Yes. Bring your pixie dust right over here.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's
I was like,
leave it. We love it. That's
No, it's love.
free expression. We love
love
all of
it.
it. It's gonna be incredible.
wow.
But-
I love the sound in my ears.
I
Yeah.
know. It feels so nice. It's just like it's just when we get the chance to like speak like this, it's just so relaxing, and we don't have to be on guard, and we don't have to be like, oh, are they not going to understand me?
No, I love
you know
it.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's just a safe space.
But thank you, and I wish you're gonna do so well. I already feel it. I know it. Like, I have a good intuition.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
And I put power towards you too.
Oh.
Like, this is amazing.
Ditto.
It is
right back at you,
I was
baby
gonna say
boo.
reciprocate.
Mirror.
Claiming, I receive it.
Just let it bounce back and
Yes,
forth and just
exactly.
into this greatness. But I think that's a gorgeous place for us to end. Once again, thank you so much for sharing your story. I know our listeners are going to absolutely love it. It was been amazing to have you. Can't wait to see where you go. But until next time, I'm Ri'chard.
And I'm Nicole.
And this has been Melanated in Melbourne.
See ya.
This has been Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast that analyzes the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. Visit us at melanatedinmelbourne.com or follow us on Instagram to send us your comments or questions. Thank you for listening.